What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here, and in today's video I'm going to be telling you how you can get ready for the Rookie Premier promo in Madden 18. So for most of you MUT veterans, y'all know what Rookie Premier is, but if y'all are new to the game mode, basically what Rookie Premier is every year at the end of MUT, usually we're probably about a week or so out, maybe 2 weeks at the most from when they will drop this promo. Basically what the Rookie Premier promo is that you can essentially, they're going to release new cards, new rookie cards of all the people that were drafted. Not all the people, but some of the bigger names. And you're going to have to put them into sets to get a badge. And however many badges it is, last year it was 10 badges. You put those badges into a Rookie Premier set, and you get a 99 overall rookie card of the rookie class from this year. Now, what that card does for you is, going into Madden 19, you will still have that card. He won't be a 99 overall, but you will have that card already in your binder for Madden 19. And as that card gets upgraded throughout the year, let's say, for example, you did a Rookie Premier for Calvin Ridley, the wide receiver for the Falcons. Okay, you put everything into your set. For the rest of Madden 18, you'll have a 99 overall Calvin Ridley card that you can use on your team. It'll be, kind of almost like a golden ticket type card in a sense. It'll be a really, really souped up card. Going into Madden 19, that Calvin Ridley will be in your binder, and it'll be, whatever Calvin Ridley's starting card for the year. Let's say it's 78 gold, right? You're going to have a 78 gold Calvin Ridley card. Now, let's say after a few weeks that Calvin Ridley gets a Team of the Week, and now he is an 82 overall elite. Now your Calvin Ridley that was a 78 automatically changes to an 82 overall. Then let's say a few weeks later, maybe he gets, he's a part of a promo, a Thanksgiving promo or a Christmas promo or something, and now he has an 88 overall. Your card becomes an 88 overall, so on and so forth. Whatever Rookie Premier card that you have, he will upgrade throughout the year. So, for example, let's say last year you did Marshawn Lattimore as your Rookie Premier, and he was probably the best Rookie Premier to do. Now, we don't know that going in. We don't know how these people are going to perform, but Marshawn Lattimore got tons of upgrades throughout the year because he was, he got a bunch of Team of the Week cards, and then he eventually got the NFL Honors card. So if you had that Marshawn Lattimore, you essentially, by the time he was fully upgraded at the end of the year, you had a free 97 overall card. You had one of the best cards in the game because you did the Rookie Premier sets. So, basically, all that is you're doing the sets in Madden 18 to hopefully benefit yourself in Madden 19. Now, maybe you do a set for someone that winds up being a dud, and, he doesn't do anything, like Corey Davis, for example. A lot of people did his set last year, and he didn't do anything this year in the NFL. He didn't get really any good upgrades. Then you kind of just were out of luck there. So, how much does it normally cost to do a Rookie Premier set? Last year, it cost about 1,000,000 coins to do a full set, to get all the badges, to get your 99 overall card. And you can do as many of them as you want. So, if you're a guy that's sitting on, 10 million coins, these are sets you're going to want to do, because if you hit on some of these cards, they're basically going to be like free cards for you next year. Every time these cards get upgraded, you're going to get the free upgrade. So if you did a Leonard Fournette last year, when Leonard Fournette had a good week and he got a 90 overall card, you instantly had a free 90 overall card. So now that we got that out of the way, what cards or what players are going to be good to upgrade? That's what we need to look into. We need to pick the highest possible, the guys that give us the best odds, right? Because we don't want to waste, all our coins and then have a bunch of duds. Not that you can really do anything with your coins at this point of the year anyway. I mean, you're probably about done playing the game anyway. But you still want to make the right investment so that you can have some really great cards for next year. So let's just scroll through the NFL draft cards and just pick out some good candidates. Now, keep in mind, every single person that got drafted in the first round is not going to get a set. They're only going to make sets for, the big name guys, or the guys they really think are going to, do something this year. So in terms of quarterbacks, for me personally, I would stay away from quarterbacks because, one, they're really volatile in terms of rookies, right? I mean, we don't know how these guys are going to perform. How often do rookie quarterbacks really perform well? Now, last year, Deshaun Watson's an example. If you did a Deshaun Watson Rookie Premier last year, you were pretty happy because I think his best card before golden tickets came into play was like a 95 overall. But that's not typical. You don't typically see a rookie quarterback come in and just light it up. Some of these guys might not start. Darnold will probably start. Lamar Jackson probably isn't going to start. Rosen probably is going to be behind Bradford. Mayfield is going to be behind Tyrod to start the year. So you don't want to go with QBs because they're too volatile. It's too easy for you to lose out on that investment completely. It's probably the one position that's the easiest to flop on. Not to mention there's always an abundance of good quarterbacks in MUT anyway that are, usually, they usually have a pretty good amount of valued QBs. So I would stay away from QBs in rookie premier sets. Running back. So running back is, definitely a position to look at because it's one of the most important positions in the game, especially with the run game usually being overpowered. If you did Ezekiel Elliott's rookie premiere for Madden 16, then you had a really good card in Madden 17. Last year, if you did Leonard Fournette, you had a pretty good card. So are there any running backs this year that are worth doing? That is really a good question. I would say, in my opinion, Saquon Barkley would be the one I would bet on. Now, yes, the Giants have a really bad O-line. So he's going to be a little bit of a struggle, but he's undoubtedly going to be the starter. He's going to get a workload. There's really no other back on that team that's really threatening his position. So he's just in a spot where he's worth the gamble because he's going to have a workload. And he's a big name, so he's one of those guys that EA is going to find ways to upgrade as best as they can. Even if he does start slow, I think he'll be a pretty safe rookie premier. Unless he gets injured, I think you'll at least get a decent return on your investment with him because it's the same with fantasy football, right? Sometimes when you're drafting people in fantasy football in terms of running backs, you might not even draft a running back because he's the most skillful guy, but you're going to draft him because there's no one threatening his position. He's going to get all the carries. He's going to get the goal line carries. He's the workhorse, undoubtedly. So, same thing kind of comes into play here. Saquon Barkley is definitely going to have a workload. It's very hard for me to see him completely flopping unless he gets hurt. Sony Michel, he's a Patriots running back, so no, I would just stay away from him just because of that. That's a volatile spot. Patriots running backs, you never know what you're going to get. As far as running backs go, Barkley's probably the only one that I would do. I don't really see anybody else that just completely jumps off the page at me. Rashad Penny, it's just I just don't see it. So let's go to wide receivers. Wide receivers is a good one to do because when you're thinking of a set like this, you also want to look at spots where on your MUT team you need multiple guys, right? You only need one quarterback. For the most part, you really only need one running back. But you need at least 4 wide receivers, right? So this is a spot you want to actually try to invest in. Or think about cornerbacks. You need at least 4 or 5 cornerbacks. Safeties, you need at least probably 3 decent safeties. Linebackers, you need at least 4 or 5 good linebackers. So think about positions where you need a lot of depth because those are good spots to invest in. So, and wide receivers, rookie wide receivers tend to really tear it up. So you have Calvin Ridley and you have DJ Moore. I think both of these guys are good options to do. DJ Moore may be a little better because he should pretty undoubtedly be the #1 go-to target for the Panthers. I mean, Greg Olsen's still there, but he's getting older. But in terms of wide receivers, they have no really great wide receivers, right? I mean, they just don't. So DJ Moore instantly is going to be a target monster. Now, Calvin Ridley is going to have to compete, obviously, with the likes of Julio Jones and stuff like that. But think about that. Calvin Ridley's on the other side of Julio Jones. So no one's double-teaming Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley is going to see some favorable matchups. And the Falcons do throw the ball a good bit. So I think both of those receivers are definitely worth doing. I'm not sure if there would be any other receiver sets to do this year, but definitely I would invest in either of those two. As far as tight end and offensive linemen, you just stay away from that because it's just they're not that much of an impact. As far as defensive ends, I mean, we got Davenport for the Saints. I probably would just stay away from him. Rookie pass rushers are a little, you don't really know what you're going to get from a rookie pass rusher. Myles Garrett did pretty well this year, but I'd probably stay away from Davenport to be safe. Now, Bradley Chubb is someone that you might want to take a gamble on. For the simple fact that he's, far and away was listed as, the best defender in the draft, the best pass rusher, and he's on a team where he's going to be opposite Von Miller, so there's really no way I could see Bradley Chubb seeing any double team. So I think Bradley Chubb would be someone that's worth potentially investing in. If you're gonna invest in a pass rusher, I would go with Bradley Chubb. Obviously, he's probably the safer bet. Defensive tackles. Would probably stay away from defensive tackles because that's kind of another position where you don't usually see rookie defensive tackles for the most part make a huge impact. I mean, Aaron Donald did it a few years ago, but typically defensive tackle rookies don't make huge impacts, and again, it's a position where there's usually a lot of value on the auction house, so I wouldn't worry about a defensive tackle. Now, linebackers, let's see, that's We don't have any left outside linebackers. Let's see, middle linebackers. Okay, definitely here. Raquan Smith, regarded as one of the best defensive players in the draft. The best linebacker. They already said for the Bears, he's going to have a mic in his helmet. He's going to be like the captain of the defense damn near. I would see this guy having a good year, and that Bears defense is actually very good, so he should thrive on that defense. I think Raquan Smith would be a good rookie premier to do. Rashaan Evans, I would stay away from. Don't really see him being, you know, as safe of a bet. Now, Tremaine Edmonds is another, if he gets a set, is somebody that I'm really looking at mainly because of this, right? Up until now, there's really only been one user player that you go for in Mud, or Madden in general, and that's Anthony Barr, because he's like the only 6'5 linebacker that's fast. But Tremaine Edmonds is now going to challenge that, because he's also a 6'5 linebacker. He is also fast, and he's a pretty good or decent coverage guy, you know, pretty decent tackler. I think this can be a really good card to go after, because at the worst, even if he doesn't get like huge upgrades this year, he's still going to be a good budget option as far as a user goes. You know, Anthony Barr is going to get some souped up cards, but Tremaine Edmonds is going to be same height, probably similar speed. So even if his highest overall card winds up being a mid-80s this year, he's probably still going to be a good guy to user. So again, I think that's why he's a safe bet, because at the top, if he gets a huge card, then you hit big. But even if he only gets like a middle-of-the-road card, he should still be a good user guy for you to use on a budget anyway. So I would definitely go for Tremaine Edmonds. And I mean, I also think he's just going to have a great year as well. And in that Buffalo defense, he should definitely shine. So those are two other guys I would consider for sure. So those two linebackers, Ridley, DJ Moore, Saquon Barkley, those are probably my favorites so far that we've covered. Let's look at right outside linebacker. Van Den Esch, definitely no. And he is the only right outside linebacker. So moving on. So now we're going to go to cornerbacks. Again, another depth position. So this is another smart position to invest in. I would definitely heavily consider Denzel Ward, best cornerback in the draft, from Ohio State as well. And we saw how it worked out last year. Marshawn Lattimore, best cornerback off the board from Ohio State. Look what he did. So I guess if you believe in any type of like myths or like consistency there, I mean, a lot of Ohio State players have been coming into the league lately and just tearing it up in their first year. He is on the Browns, so that is a little scary, but I would definitely, I don't think Denzel Ward is, I don't like him as much as the other like 5 guys that I've mentioned, but Denzel Ward is definitely somebody I would consider. I wouldn't write him off. You know, just being on the Browns is a little scary, but I think he should be a pretty decent investment. Jari Alexander and Mike Hughes, I would probably steer away from. Maybe Jari Alexander, maybe, but definitely not Hughes. And yeah, but I mean, if I'm gonna go any cornerback, I'm going Denzel Ward. But you could consider Jari Alexander, but it just, cornerbacks are a little tricky too sometimes, because a lot of times cornerbacks in their rookie year don't make a huge impact, even though we've seen a few people do that lately. Going on to safety, I think Minkah Fitzpatrick would be a decent option to go after. He's a really talented guy, and I think in that Dolphins defense, being opposite side Rashad Jones, I think he could make some noise. And again, it's a depth spot, so even if he just gets a middling card, you know, he could be a good backup safety for you. I think he is worth considering. I would definitely not do Terrell Edmonds, though. I don't really even think he's that great of a player. That's just my opinion, but you know, we'll see. Prove me wrong. Now, another guy at the top of my list that I really, really love is definitely Derwin James. He slipped very far in the draft. Not sure why. He's a guy I would expect to make an immediate impact on that Chargers defense. And the thing is, that Chargers secondary is so good. You've got Casey Hayward. You've got, I forget what the other guy is. Verrett. You have the other cornerback who's great. You have a couple decent safeties, but Derwin James, I mean, he's just going to be able to kind of like ball hawk back there and just be an amazing guy behind 2 to 3 really good cornerbacks. He's definitely high up on my list of guys I would go after. I could see him definitely making an impact and having a big year, and he could potentially be, you know, a guy that gets a card in the 90s next year pretty early and be a card that you can have for free. So my top picks, just to reiterate and wrap this up: Saquon Barkley for sure, Calvin Ridley, DJ Moore, Tremaine Edmonds, Raquan Smith, Bradley Chubb, Denzel Ward, and Derwin James. And then I guess some honorable mentions, I'd say Minkah Fitzpatrick and maybe Jari Alexander. So definitely look out for those sets. They should be hitting the game pretty soon. And yeah, you know, hopefully these guys pay off for you. I hope some of them pay off for me as well. That would be really nice. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, as always, just drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.